Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and these are the hottest Golden Age books for the week. Should be a pretty good one list. We're going to start out with this, what I call the steal of the week. It is Vault of Horror number 30. It's from EC Comics from 1953. It's a classic dismemberment, or just like it's like a subway cart with this guy's arm just hanging from the straps that they hold on the subways. The cool thing is, and I only noticed this while preparing this video, was there's a sign. If you actually look at the comic really closely, there's actually a sign in the back that says, I'll read it. It says, "Stomach upset," and it's got like a little question mark. It's like as if, maybe the goriness might upset your stomach. It's kind of funny that it's sort of a very subtle joke that the artist created for the cover, and I thought it was really interesting. I just noticed that as I was preparing the video. So it's a Johnny Craig cover, just a really great artist from the Golden Age. It was an eBay sale, and there was like a huge number of bidders on it, but it went for a really low price. It was a CGC 4.0 that sold for $621. Now, this book had actually been going up steadily, even recently. So there was a sale back in June of this year for $912. So this is $300 below what the recent previous sale was. So bit of a steal. I think sometimes you can get lucky on these eBay auctions and just pick up a really cool book for a really great price. There are 112 of these on the census, and 103 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 9 on the list is a book that I love. I actually, I get notifications on my comic shop whenever a book that I am interested in comes up. And this book sold in 5 minutes. So it was Wolfgal number 1. It's a 1951 book from Toby Press. It's an Al Cap comic cover and interior art and story. But it's the first titled Wolfgal book. And really what it is, it's reprints from his daily strips. But it's a cool story. It's a cool good girl art cover. And it's one that I would have bought this had I seen it. But it was a big sale. So it was a 5.0 that sold, CGC 5.0 that sold for $500. And I can't believe it sold literally in 5 minutes. It was a very quick sale. There are no previous records for this book in this grade, but a 7.0 sold last year for $520. So just $20 more, you could have gotten a 7.0 last year. So this was a very strong sale for a 5.0. There's only 18 of these on the census, and 18 of them are Universal Blue Labels. So strong sale for a very cool book. Number 8 on the list is All Top Comics number 15. This is from Fox Feature Syndicate from 1949. It's kind of like I'm not sure who the artist is that did the cover, but it's a Jack Kamen. It's denoted as being Jack Kamen and Matt Baker art. I have a feeling that they kind of worked together on it because it has like kind of Matt Baker hair and Jack Kamen body. It's kind of a hybrid of the two artists. Very great good girl art with a gorilla, Rula fighting a gorilla, and it's just a really cool cover. So yeah, this was a 7.5 sale on Heritage Auctions, and it sold for $1,020. There's no previous record for this grade, but there was a 6.0 that sold for $925 in April of this year. So this is a little bit stronger than the 6.0, but not a really big sale. I would have expected to go more for like $1,100, $1,200 range, but still, it's still a new record, so it's on the list for that reason. There are 26 of these on the census, and 24 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 7 on the list is Superman number 6. This is from 1940 from DC Comics. It's a Joe Shuster cover, and it's a really interesting cover because it looks like a pinup. It looks like what you would have seen in the interior of the comic as a pinup. And the funny thing about this is what it actually says. So it's just a yellow cover with Superman standing on it, but it says the following. It says, "Yours, very truly yours, Clark Kent," and then in brackets, Superman. So it's almost a cover that reveals Superman's secret identity. It's very odd in that respect. So I always thought this was a cool cover in that respect. And it was CGC 2.0 that sold on eBay for $2,011. This is a big record for this book because it had just sold in March of 2021 for $1,400. So in 2 years, it's gone up like 50%. So not too bad of a turnover in 2 years. So there are 252 of these on the census, and 186 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 6 on the list is Mickey Mouse Magazine number 5 from 1936. This is the first solo Donald Duck cover, and it's his second cover overall. So kind of a cool Donald Duck book for anyone that really likes collecting Donald Duck. It was an eBay sale that was a CGC 3.0, and it was a best offer. And somebody accepted the best offer of $1,300. Now, if you check Go Collect, it will show the value as being $1,500. So how do I know that it's a $1,300 sale? Well, what you do is you use a program called GPA Analysis, and it actually shows you what offer was accepted. So just one of those things. Sometimes the prices on Go Collect can be deceiving because you see that full price, that not the best offer price. Now, this was a big sale for this book because there was a 6.0 that sold. There was no previous record for this book, but there was a 6.0 that sold in November of 2019 for $1,140. So $200 cheaper for a 6.0. And you would expect this book to be around the $1,000 mark, because it has appreciated since. But $1,300 is actually a bit high for this book. So, but still a great book, and actually still a great price for this book. There are 16 of these on the census, and 13 of them are Universal Blue Labels. So a very rare book. Definitely one that is one on my want list as well. It's a great book. So number 5 on the list is Ace Comics number 11. This is from February of 1938. It is a Joe Musil cover, and this is kind of an interesting one. So often people will denote this as being the first appearance of the Phantom, and CGC kind of skirts around it, because what they'll do is they'll denote it as the first appearance of the Phantom in his brown costume. But actually the first appearance of the Phantom is in another book called Pepin. I'm not sure it's a Spanish pronunciation, but he appears as El Fantasma. And that's from January of 1938. So the Ace Comics number 11 came out in February. So a month earlier was this Spanish version. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe it's the first English version of the Phantom. I don't know. I'm not sure how you denote it, but it's still a great comic because the Phantom is actually the first costumed superhero. He came out before Superman. And, kind of a key character. So this was a 3.0 that sold, and it sold for $2,750. Now, the previous record for this book was set back in June of 2022 for $2,400. So up slightly from about 10% from the previous record for this book. There are 19 19 copies on the census, and 12 of those are Universal Blue Labels. Number 4 on the list is Atomic War number 3 from Ace Comics from 1953. This is an interesting one. It features Schick Stone and Ken Rice art, and it's sort of like, the Atomic War series is like basically what would happen if the Russians all of a sudden bombed the US. Well, in issue 3, you get the Americans retaliating against the Russians, and they're basically bombing the Kremlin. So you get this huge, atomic bomb explosion on the cover, and you see the bombers coming into the Kremlin. So it's kind of a cool comic for that reason. Now, this was a CGC 7.5 that sold, and it sold for $840. Now, the prior record for this book was set back in May of 2021 for $516. So this is a strong sale. It's up $300 from just 2 years ago. And just so you know, like, number 1 of this Atomic War is the one that is the most sought after. But this is still another great atomic bomb explosion cover. So just it's one that maybe was under the radar before, but no longer. It's definitely been going up. So there are 44 of these on the census, and 44 of them are Universal Blue Labels. That was a heritage auction sale. The next one, number 3 on the list, is Torchy number 1. This is from Quality Comics from 1949. It is the first solo comic for Torchy, a titled comic for her, and it features her the creator for this character actually did the cover art. So it's Bill Ward cover art, and most of the Torchy comics, it only ran 6 issues, but most of them were done by Gil Fox. So number 1 was Bill Ward, but the rest, except for the last issue, was, Gil Fox. So Bill Ward did number 1 and 6. So interesting book. This was a CBCS book that sold in a 4.5 for $720. Now, the prior record for this book was set back in February of 2018 for $450. So it's up $300 since its previous record. So it's up a lot. There are 42 of these on the census, and 38 of them are Universal Blue Labels. This was another heritage auction sale. Okay, number 2 on the list is Detective Comics number 12. This is from 1938. It's the first appearance of Nancy Jenks, which is a character that I think appeared in maybe 2-3 issues. Not a major character, but, it's a first appearance. It's a Craig Flessel cover. And it's kind of a weird, kind of looks like, you see this wanted picture and you see this guy pulling it down, who obviously is the guy on the wanted photo. But not particularly a great cover. But this was a big sale because it's an early detective. It's prior to Batman's first appearance. And this was a CBCS 3.0 that sold for $4,800. Now, the prior record for this book was set back in June of 2022 for $430 and $4,320. So it's up $500, about 10-15% in 1 year. So not bad return. There are 21 of these on the census, and 17 of them are Universal Blue Labels. So just an interesting one for the Detective Comics 12, that there are collectors for those early Detective Comics, because of the significance of that title. And I'm always amazed by how much those books can command. But they are, as you can see, like 21 of them on the census, very rare books. Number 1 on the list is America's Best Comics number 10. This is from Nidor from 1944, and it is like a classic cover. it's like a lot of people collect flag covers, and this is one where you have 4 flags on like 4 of the Allies flags on, and each being held by a different superhero, and then they're sort of trampling over the flags of Germany and Japan. So, you know, kind of a cool World War II cover. So it's got a lot of elements that people collect. And it also has an injury to eye panel inside. So another classic element that people collect. And it's done by Alex Schomburg. So great artist. A lot of cool elements to this book. Well, this was a CGC 4.5 that sold on Heritage, and it sold for $3,120. Now, the prior record for this book was set way back in 2018 for $630. So it's up 5 times in that 5 years. So pretty good, pretty great return on investment. 5 times fold in just 5 years. So that's pretty great. But the reason for these books going up so much is there are a lot of people collecting these World War II comics, and Alex Schomburg is one of these artists that people are actually actively chasing after. And it's a fairly rare book. There's only 26 of these on the census, and 20 of them are Universal Blue Labels. So just a great book to end it for this week. And if you enjoyed this list, please give this video a thumbs up. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.